only at LA Jupiter.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
Good morning and welcome to the DBS Major Morning News. It is Saturday, the 29th day of March 2025. In the headlines, Dominica is monitoring suspected cases of leptospirosis. In news from the region, Antigua says it will not neglect its relationship with China and other countries. And internationally, Myanmar earthquake death toll rises to more than 1,000 as rescuers continue to search for survivors. The details of the morning news right after this.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go! Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up this morning, Dominica is monitoring suspected cases of leptospirosis. National epidemiologist Dr. Shaludin Ahmed says the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, has been asked to determine whether the suspected cases are confirmed.
We are monitoring sporadic suspected cases of leptospirosis currently under investigation. While preliminary rapid tests have shown positive results, we await confirmatory testing from CARPHA. Leptospirosis presents particular diagnostic challenges as its early symptoms can resemble dengue or influenza. As many know, this disease is carried by rodents, especially rats and mice, whose urine can contaminate water and food and water sources, particularly during periods of heavy rainfall. We especially urge farmers, construction workers, and those working outdoors or participating in recreational activities to take precautions against rodents exposure and to practice proper food storage and environmental hygiene during this rainy season.
That was National Epidemiologist Dr. Shaludin Ahmed. In more news this morning, the Dominica Cancer Society is expected to have a new executive later today. That's when the society holds its annual general meeting, and that will take place this morning.
The Dominica Cancer Society annual general meeting will be held on Saturday, 29th March 2025 at the University of the West Indies Global Campus based in Dominica, Emsall Road. That's close to the Botanic Gardens. Notices for the meeting has already been distributed and invitations to our general membership and specially invited guests. So we look forward to many of our members and supporters turning up for the meeting. It's also an election year. This year, there will be elections to the board of directors. So there'll be a new board of directors elected at this annual general meeting. So members, supporters, come out in your numbers and elect your new board of directors to run the affairs and manage the Dominica Cancer Society for the next 2 years.
That was President of the Dominica Cancer Society, Yvonne Alexander. Jacob Serendo Durand of Petit Soufriere is the 14th person charged with unlawful assembly following protest actions in the capital, Roseau. The accused appeared before the Roseau Magistrates Court on Friday. Here is Ronaldo Luke with that report.
It is alleged that on March 19, 2025, at Victoria Street in Roseau, Durand unlawfully, riotously, and tumultuously assembled to the disturbance of the public, contrary to the provision of Section 4 of Chapter Number 1002 of the Riot Act of the Consolidated Laws of Dominica of 2017. The accused was not required to enter a plea, as the matter is an indictable offense, expected to be tried at the High Court. During the hearing, Police Prosecutor Sergeant Etienne raised no objections to bail and did not propose any conditions. Consequently, attorneys Ronald Charles, Eliu Charles, and Joshua Francis, representing the accused, presented Ernie Lawrence John Feen as a proposed surety. Following the court's assessment, the former senator was deemed a fit and proper person to stand bail for Durant. Bail was granted in the sum of $25,000 with no conditions attached. The matter was adjourned to August 21, 2025 for the start of the preliminary inquiry. This week, 14 individuals appeared before the court charged with unlawful assembly. Among them were former parliamentary representative for the Salisbury constituency, Hector John, former parliamentary representative for the Roseau North constituency, Daniel Luge, chairman of the Dominica Freedom Party and the Electoral Reform Coalition, Johnson Boston, and Ms. Rosie Felix. Of the 14 defendants, only Samuel Durant was denied bail. The court ruled that he had breached his previous bail conditions, having been granted bail for another offense in December 2024, but subsequently being charged with this new offense. The police say more charges are expected to be preferred in the coming days. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
And our thanks to Ronaldo Luke for that report. We go back to some health news this morning. The Ministry of Health is reporting an outbreak of gastroenteritis and influenza flu illness. National epidemiologist Dr. Shaludin Ahmed made the announcement during a Ministry of Health press conference on Friday.
We continue to monitor an ongoing gastroenteritis outbreak that began in early January of this year. Second, we are tracking influenza outbreak that emerged following our carnival celebrations. These health challenges align with our historical data patterns where large seasonal gatherings often lead to increased transmission of both gastrointestinal and respiratory illnesses. We are pleased to report that surveillance data from March 16 to 22nd shows declining case numbers for both outbreaks, indicating our public health measures are having a positive effect. However, we remain fully engaged in active monitoring across all communities, with particular attention to high-risk areas to ensure downward trend continues. Regarding the gastroenteritis situation, the primary symptoms we are seeing include diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and fever. While cases have been reported across all age groups, children up to age 14 account for more than half of all cases. Geographically, while present across the island, about 60% of cases have been concentrated in Roseau Health District. This gastroenteritis outbreak spreads primarily through what we call the fecal-oral route. This means transmission occurs when people come into contact with contaminated surfaces like toys or doorknobs, consume contaminated food or water, or through direct person-to-person contact when proper hand washing isn't practiced after using the toilet or changing diapers.
Dr. Ahmed says the influenza flu outbreak has impacted the population.
Our data shows most common symptoms are cough, fever, runny nose, and body pain. While affecting all age groups, young adults between 25 and 44 years old represents the largest proportion of cases. Geographically, we have seen the highest concentration of cases in Roseau and Marigot Health districts. The flu virus spreads through several routes. When infected individuals cough or sneeze, they release droplets that can infect others nearby. The virus can also spread through direct contact with infected person or by touching contaminated surfaces, then touching one's face. I would like to take a moment to commend our national laboratory for their excellent work in responding to this outbreak. Their in-country testing capacity has allowed us to rapidly identify influenza B as the dominant circulating strain, with some influenza A also present, without needing to send samples abroad for analysis. This local capability has been invaluable in our response efforts.
That was National Epidemiologist Dr. Shaludin Ahmed. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Lenora Fevrier-Drago has warned the population to take action against the flu and gastroenteritis illnesses.
Over the past few weeks, we have observed an increase of both illnesses, and it is imperative that we take an intersectoral coordinated action to protect the health and well-being of our population. Our health facilities have reported a surge in patients experiencing symptoms of gastroenteritis, including diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal cramps, and dehydration. At the same time, we are experiencing the usual rise in cases of influenza, as this is known to be our annual flu season, with individuals suffering from fever, cough, sore throat, body aches, and fatigue. By definition, an outbreak is a sudden and unexpected increase in the number of cases of a disease in a specific location or population, exceeding what's normally expected. While these illnesses are common, an outbreak places additional strain on our healthcare system, schools, workplaces, and vulnerable populations such as the elderly and the young. Gastroenteritis is often caused by viral or bacterial infections and usually transmitted through contaminated food, water, or contact with infected persons. The flu, on the other hand, is spread primarily through respiratory droplets from coughing, sneezing, or touching contaminated surfaces. Coming out of our carnival season with notably large masses and gatherings and other festive events, I am sure we can all appreciate why our numbers have surged to outbreak levels.
Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Lenora Fevrier-Drygo. Assistant Bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, Dominica District, Casmus John, says serving in Dominica for the last 10 years has been fulfilling. John leaves Dominica next week after tendering his resignation. He will return to St. Vincent to continue his service. A special service has been planned for Sunday at 5 p.m. in his honor.
As I reflect on the past 10 years of serving in leadership, my heart is full of gratitude. The time spent here has been truly a blessing, and I am thankful for the opportunity to have been part of this incredible journey. Over the years, my family and I have been deeply touched by the unwavering love and encouragement and support given to us by church here at PPFC and those outside of PPFC, those within the district of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, those who follow us on the radio. And I've just been blessed with the outpouring of support given to us. We have watched the church flourish and we have seen lives transformed. And that's a testament to the hard work and dedication that we were able to put in alongside with those who worked with us. And so, as I submit my resignation, it's time to move on. But I am confident that the foundation that we've built here will continue to carry the church forward in powerful ways.
Assistant Bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, Dominica District, Casmus John. Let's move to news from the region where Antigua and Barbuda's Foreign Minister Chet Green says his country must not neglect the importance of nurturing the existing relationships with China and other countries in Europe and the United States. Addressing the diplomatic encounter which entered its second day on Friday, Green also said it was necessary for St. John's to broaden its diplomatic footprints, particularly in key regions such as Africa, Central and South America, and India. He said, and I quote, "The expansion of our relationships in these areas is not mere ambitions, but a necessity. The African continent, with its vast resources and emerging markets, presents a wealth of opportunities that we must seize," unquote. Internationally, more than 1,000 people have been killed in Myanmar and thousands more injured following a 7.7 magnitude earthquake that was also felt in neighboring countries. In Bangkok, Thailand, officials say at least 15 people are believed to be alive under rubble of a collapsed high-rise building, with 100 people still unaccounted for. The rescue team in Mandalay, Myanmar, the second largest city, told the BBC they are digging people out with their bare hands. Myanmar's military leaders have issued a rare appeal for international aid, with its neighbors China and India among the first to send help. Well, this has been the DBS Major Morning News. A recap of the headlines. Dominica is monitoring suspected cases of leptospirosis. In news from the region, Antigua says it will not neglect its relations with China and other countries. And internationally, Myanmar earthquake death toll rises to more than 1,000. The best in sports comes up next. Stay tuned.
Yo, what's up? Baby, let's go! Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
For over 47 years, the National Bank of Dominica Limited has been a cornerstone of our nation's development, standing by our customers at every step. Together, we are shaping a brighter future. We recognize that every journey is different, and we are dedicated to nurturing meaningful relationships. We are here to understand your needs and support your goals. Our personalized services are designed to provide the peace of mind you deserve wherever life takes you. Trust us to be there when it counts. With NBD, you have a partner invested in your success today, tomorrow, and always.
Welcome to the DBS Morning Sports Report. Well, let's start off with some football news. Middleham United registered their first win of the season as the DFA Premier League continued last night, beating Connect 767 Courts Ready Cash East Central at the DFA Technical Center. Well, Middleham got 2 goals within the first 10 minutes of the match, putting them in the driver's seat. Nathan Newton managed to pull a goal back for East Central, but Josima Gustav added a third goal for insurance as Middleham won 3-1. Josima Gustav scored 2 goals and Clemson Isaac added another goal for Middleham. The Premier League continues today with 2 matches. Sagicor Southeast will take on Promex Harlem United at the DFA Technical Center, while Valvoline We United takes on the Roosevelt Skerrit Bombers at Benjamin Park. Both games will be played at 5 p.m. Still in football, President of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne, says Valvoline We United and Petro Caribe Point Michel will play their postponed match next week. The 2 clubs were set to meet in the opening match of the season last Friday. The game was postponed over a clash in uniforms. We United had written the DFA earlier this week, seeking the match points and compensation for their expenses, as they accused the DFA of not honoring a commitment made in March to address the issues of team kits. Well, DFA President Glenn Etienne says while We United will be compensated for their travel expenses, the game will be played next Wednesday.
Well, yeah, it's an unfortunate situation that we had to, the game had to call off due to the referee saying it's a color clash. What we will do, we will definitely compensate the club for their loss because it was no fault of the clubs. That game will be played next Wednesday coming at the Stock Farm Complex with starting time at 6:30. I think the DFA always want to apologize when you have this mishap, and we want to take this opportunity to apologize. Both clubs, the United Football Club and the Point Michel Football Club, and the fans and the vendors, because they would have prepared the stuff to come and sell to the patrons. Some of them would have made a loss. So we want to take the opportunity to say we are sorry for what happened and hoping that this will not happen.
In terms of what transpired, the whole uniform situation, I know the DFA had a meeting earlier on in March. So what sort of steps will the DFA be taking to ensure that something like this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, well, we're going to ask the clubs, and we should have done that already, to send in a picture of their uniforms, both their uniforms, especially the Premier clubs, because they should have 2 uniforms. And when the games are, before the games are played, we will take a look at the uniforms and make sure that this, what happened to the United Palm does not happen. And if there's some resemblance of color clash, we will provide an alternate uniform for the team.
That was Dominica Football Association President Glenn Etienne. Well, let's move over to some netball news. To the Max Netball Academy of St. Lucia made it 2 wins in a row as the Nature Isle Netball Showdown continued last night at Windsor Park. The St. Lucians had dispatched the Shakira Lockhart Spartans in their first match of the tournament, and last night they made very light work of the Colibri Girls of Guadeloupe. The St. Lucians won 87-6. Meantime, in the other match last night, the Shakira Lockhart Spartans beat the Celtics 49-39 to pick up their first win of the tournament. Well, the tournament will come to an end tonight with the Celtics playing To the Max Netball Academy of St. Lucia and the Spartans taking on the Colibri Girls of Guadeloupe. The first game begins at 6:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park. Let's move to some athletics news, where a new champion has been crowned in the secondary schools athletics championships as the Dominica Grammar School's reign has come to an end. The Portsmouth Secondary School emerged the top school following 2 days of intense action at the sports division's secondary school track and field championships ended on Friday at the Windsor Park.
I must say a number of schools have showed up themselves tremendously well this year's competition. The Portsmouth Secondary School and the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, they swapped positions in the top positions for boys and girls in first and second. In the boys, the Portsmouth Secondary School placed first with 346 points. Isaiah Thomas in second place with 230 points. Cassibu Secondary School in third place with 196 points. Dominica Grammar School in fourth with 182 points, and the Gould Secondary School, they placed fifth with 117 points. In the girls, in sixth position was the Dominica State College with 103 points. In fifth position was the Cassibu Secondary School with 125 points. The Dominica Grammar School placed fourth with 162 points. In third was the Northeast Comprehensive School with 203 points. But in second was the Portsmouth Secondary School with 211 points. And the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School are the crowned champions for the girls with 220 points. So overall, the Dominica Grammar School, they placed in fifth position with 279 points. The Cassibu Secondary School in fourth place with 321 points. The Northeast Comprehensive School in a third with 385 points. And the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, they were in second with 450 points. And so our overall champion for the 2025 Secondary Schools Athletics Championship is none other than the Portsmouth Secondary School with 557 points.
And that was the breakdown from Sports Officer UD John. Meantime, Portsmouth Secondary School head coach Luan Gabriel says she is proud. This is a proud moment for her school.
All right, first of all, I want to say thank God to the Almighty Father for giving us the victory today, because everything was done through His strength, and it's only because of me why we are winners here today.
All right. Won the boys competition, had some work to do in the girls, but just talk me through your male athletes and how impressed you were with them.
Well, I'm very impressed with the male athletes because last year we were champions and also this year we are currently champions again. So I'm very impressed by how they came out and maintained the championship. So that indeed make me proud. And the girls, they actually stepped out. They stepped up this year. They came like fourth last year, and this year they really moved up at least two spots up. So I'm proud that they came and do what they had to do. Yes.
All right. Beating Grammar School, I mean, Portsmouth has a strong camps and stuff that, where they work hard with the athletes. But how much does this championship mean to you guys?
It means a lot. It's a major achievement because over the past years we have known that the Dominica Grammar School has been winning this championship, and to come and defend them, that means we mean business because the athletes have been putting the work since last year summer. They have been working. I know that if they had training, they deserve to win because they put in the work and they put their faith and trust in God. So I just thank God just bringing us here to victory. We are elated, we are happy because it's been years since the Portsmouth Secondary School have been champions, and to defend DGS is major. It's excited and we are elated and we want to continue, keep winning, keeping the championship and keep it up there in Jesus' name. Yeah.
Very quickly, Luan, I know it's a team event, but who are some of your standout athletes? Some of the athletes that really did exceptionally well for you.
Well, we'll start with Sean Vidal because he's a senior athlete and he has been doing exceptionally well. And one of the character athletes qualified for character. We also have Abby Burton, who did exceptionally well as well, and Ajaya Morancy, Madison Ernest. These were some of the top performers who did exceptionally well. Ala Rock, these were, and what I'm mentioning is the gold medals because they came and they maintained that they were coming for the win. So I was really proud of this, as well as Jeriah Lewis and Jaden Joseph, who are character qualifiers, and they are from the Portsmouth Secondary School. They came out and they get gold in their respective events, which they have qualified for character in. So I'm proud that they came out there and did their best. And I didn't mention anything, but Dylan the Judge, exceptional MVP because he has broken 3 records and he has been doing an excellent job. So I expect him to be MVP. Yes.
Portsmouth Secondary School head coach Luan Gabriel. Let's move to some Carifta Games news, where Carifta Games gold medalist Addison James will be eyeing some more medals today as he competes in the finals of the javelin events at the 2025 ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships that's taking place in Jamaica today. Well, he qualified for today's finals during the preliminaries held earlier this week. The first event is the javelin one, which is set for 2 p.m. this afternoon. James tossed 53.90 meters in the qualifiers, which was good enough for 7th place overall. Meantime, national sprinter missed out on a spot in the finals of the girls 200 meters by the slimmest of margins possible. Karel Etienne ran 24.50 seconds in the semi-finals to finish in 3rd place in her heat. Her time, however, was not enough to get her into the top 8 overall, and she missed the qualifying mark for the finals by just 1/10 of a second. Well, we've come to the end of this morning's morning news and sports. Of course, a few things to look out for throughout the day. We have Connecting the Dots coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Sister Nats will join Ivona John Baptist Luge and Nigel Francis this morning from 9 o'clock right here. Sister Nats will be the guest this morning. It's going to be streamed live on the DBS Radio YouTube channel. So go to YouTube, look for DBS Radio on YouTube, and of course you can view the stream live. Later today from 3 o'clock, of course, Ambassador Leroy Charles, and of course don't forget your nominations for the Music Awards, the Dominica Music Awards. Submit your nominations in the various categories for the Dominica Music Awards that's coming up in May. Dr. Miguel Labadie comes through from 8. We have netball action, the final night taking place tonight. Competition will come to an end tonight with Celtics from Dominica taking on To The Max Netball Academy of St. Lucia, and the Spartans will be taking on the Colibri Girls of Guadeloupe. That's taking place from 6:30. Of course, we also have football action taking place tonight as well from 5 o'clock. In Benjamin's Park, the Portsmouth Bombers will take on We United. Southeast will take on Harlem. That's at the DFA Technical Center. There are 2 games, one in Benjamin's Park, one at the DFA Technical Center. And tomorrow also 2 games in football. Maho Soccer Strikers and Dublin will do battle in Benjamin's Park. That's tomorrow. Once again, Maho Soccer Strikers and Dublin FC will do battle at Benjamin's Park. And then at the Technical Center in Stock Farm, DSFC will take on Point Michelle. So please don't say there's nowhere to go to. And of course, we'll be definitely monitoring the Carifta Games Championships. Of course, Addison James will be eyeing some more jewelry to add on. He'll be competing this afternoon from 2 o'clock in the ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships that's taking place in Jamaica. Thank you very much for joining us on the DBS Major Morning News this morning. On behalf of the entire news and sports department, my name is Joseph Fadul.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
For over 47 years, the National Bank of Dominica Limited has been a cornerstone of our nation's development, standing by our customers at every step. Together, we are shaping a brighter future. We recognize that every journey is different, and we are dedicated to nurturing meaningful relationships. We are here to understand your needs and support your goals. Our personalized services are designed to provide the peace of mind you deserve wherever life takes you. Trust us to be there when it counts. With NBD, you have a partner invested in your success today, tomorrow, and always.
7:32 the morning time on DBS Radio. Let's now bring you this morning's edition of the Insert of the Package. This morning's edition of the Insert of the Package is brought to you compliments of our good friends at A&A Low Price Center.
A&A Low Price Center in the village of Calabishi offers the best prices for the freshest products ever. One-stop convenient shopping at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi. For your foods, your everyday needs, snacks, liquor, dry goods, and more. Just about everything located in the flat of Calabishi, directly in the center of the village. Come to A&A Low Price Center on the highway in Calabishi. A&A Low Price Center is family owned and operated. It is fully computerized, VAT compliant, low toll, credit card and top-up capabilities. Stop at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi today or call 445-7655. Drop us an email at analowprice@gmail.com. A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit us today. Just walk in and be happy you did.
Well, this morning's insert of the package will come from the morning news, where Dominica is monitoring suspected cases of leptospirosis. National epidemiologist Dr. Shaladdin Ahmed says the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, has been asked to determine whether the suspected cases are confirmed.
Sporadic suspected cases of leptospirosis currently under investigation. While preliminary rapid tests have shown positive results, we await confirmatory testing from CARPHA. Leptospirosis presents particular diagnostic challenges as its early symptoms can resemble dengue or influenza. As many know, this disease is carried by rodents, especially rats and mice, whose urine can contaminate water and food and water sources, particularly during periods of heavy rainfall. We especially urge farmers, construction workers, and those working outdoors or participating in recreational activities to take precautions against rodents exposure and to practice proper food storage and environmental hygiene during this rainy season.